What is going on, everybody? Back again with another fantasy fishing preview. I can't say we've ever done a show literally 5 hours after an event has ended before. But as for folks who, if you weren't paying attention, Lake Champlain literally ended this afternoon. Congrats to Koya Fujita. I think it was Mercer had a post today, guys, that was like Mount Fujita, and I thought that was the coolest thing ever. But, yeah. We're back again, guys. The whole gang's here. What's going on, fellas?
Living the dream. It's hotter than heck here in Iowa. I don't know about you guys, but it's like 95 degrees. Got a Tuesday night tournament tomorrow. It's supposed to be 104. So drinking water, getting ready.
It wasn't your index like 110 or something like that today?
I don't know. It's way too hot. Like gets to a certain point, it's just too hot, you know?
Yeah, it's
which for me is like anything above 85, but this is crazy.
Same. It melts.
Yeah, anything above 85. Like we did finally cooling down in Idaho. Like it was hundreds last week. And it like today woke up, it was 60 something degrees and raining, and it felt great.
Yeah,
and it
awesome.
stayed like 70s all day. So
beautiful.
And then its fall is actually coming.
Well, I just got a nice notification that our stream on Facebook.
Oh, there it goes. It's back up.
And now it is live. Now it is working.
Did we just glitch out right there?
Yeah, I think so. Because now it's working.
Weird.
Nice.
That was really weird. I got a notification that we aren't streaming on Facebook, that it's something's an error. But
and now
either way,
working.
Whatever goes up live will go live. So if you're tuning in, this might not be posted afterwards. So you're getting your only glimpse of the preview for St. Lawrence River. But go around the horn here, talking about, I mean, for folks that were able to watch Champlain, but Brennan, did you get any takeaways from the Champlain event?
I got some glimpses, and I got one major takeaway, and that was where were the largemouth?
Yeah.
That was wild.
You guys hear, though, on, not to just like jump right in on what you're saying, but this is super pertinent to that. Did you hear on live today what Zona was talking about?
Yeah.
So he has a good friend there that is a hammer on Champlain that fishes all those tournaments that go out of Ticonderoga.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a tournament that went out on Sunday that had like 20 boats, and it took 23 pounds with a 7-pound kicker, green one.
Yeah,
so why did you go down there?
Ties because of the winds, probably Friday, Saturday.
Too consistent on the smallmouth, man. But like, yeah, it took 23 pounds down there in a local tournament.
Yeah, almost every tournament there this year out of tie is taking between 23 and like 26 pounds to win for 5. It's been crazy. Yeah, they've been catching them.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
nobody weighed the run though.
So what do you think it is? Field size that the Elite Series bag? I mean, I know it's a different day, different set of variables, but is it field size?
What do you mean?
That shrinks that weight so much. 23 pounds, you said, with a 7-pound kicker. Or I guess that had an anchor of a 7-pounder.
Right. I think it was just, I don't know what the other bags were down there, but I think it was just the Elite guys were so dialed into the smallmouth. Yeah. I mean,
sure.
There was some largemouth weighed, right? But was there on any of the coverage of anyone running all the way down there?
No, I think everyone was just out chasing them around in the abyss and scoping them with Demiki rigs.
The whatever inland sea.
Yeah,
it seemed like literally the entire top 10 was all scoping them with Demiki rigs.
Yeah. Well, not even Demiki. Like that's what. So I've been, of course, screwing around out here doing that exact same thing, and it's a blast, man. Like, but because I've always done that a lot, up fishing against Boomer up in northern Idaho, but with a drop shot, with a Ned rig, something dropping on them. Like that, one of those suspended fish. But now I've been doing it with a jig head, like a crappie jig.
Yeah.
Same deal. And because I've always Demiki'd straight down, but making that cast with it now, it's like, man, it's fairly effective. Clearly, based on what happened this weekend.
That's how.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed
that's
like
how I caught him in that tournament with you.
That's how you caught him, Boomer?
Yeah, I don't know why I'm breaking up. I'm sorry. I can hear you guys, but then I break really bad. My wife is like a huge baseball fan. I imagine. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I just tuned into like the Mariners game.
Devices in the house.
Nice. Are you good, Boomer?
Sorry.
He's in a tizzy over MLB.
We're gonna get to like bucket A, and he's gonna be like, bucket E. This I got.
The stream's gonna be over, and he's gonna be somehow still streaming.
Yeah, he's just by himself in here.
All by himself.
The boomer
It's like I'm an hour behind.
Yeah.
That is true.
Is that like called skipping?
No, you're fine. It's just I think
Is
it's
it
you're
skipping
delayed. If
I can
you might
kinda
just
hear you
want
guys.
to go out.
I just
for that
yelled at
deal.
my wife. I just yelled at my wife and said, "Turn off all your baseball games." All right, I'll disconnect.
I just yelled at my wife.
Future boomer, disconnect and reconnect.
I'm clipping
It
that.
works.
Dude. I'm clipping that,
You have
dude.
to talk to future boomer.
We're just talking. I just yelled at my wife.
Yells. Just blows up.
Oh, that's incredible. That was amazing.
That was good.
Oh gosh.
What a way to start things.
That's good. That's good.
Well, to quickly recap Champlain, I don't know if you guys saw the snippet of today, but it looked like literally the entire top 10 except for Matt Robertson was all in Vermont, like in a small section of Vermont.
Mhm.
And then Matt Robertson's out in, Narnia somewhere else in New York. But
They're fishing like 100 feet of water. Like he's doing
hey, he made it work. He made it work. I did thoroughly enjoy seeing some ugly sticks on some Champlain smallies.
Dude, he's got to be the all-time money holder for, checks on an ugly stick, right? Has to be.
At this point.
Without a
Has
doubt.
anybody ever made $1 prior to him on an ugly stick? I want to know that.
It's a great question.
Uncle Buck, man,
Yeah.
down in Alabama or something. He's been
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. It was. I will say though, it was kind of a bummer not to see as much largemouth in play. I know conditions wise wasn't super conducive, but I mean, just I know, like in the moment, like to your point, Deacon, like when you're scoping them with a Demiki or whatever, hovering in front of them, like it's fun as heck when you're in the moment. But I think from a fan perspective, when they see Champlain coming up on a schedule, it's kind of a bummer when your entire 4 block anglers are all just staring and waiting to make a cast.
I agree.
And
It's
we're like we can enjoy that, right? But like for the average fan, I can understand that might be kind of a letdown when you think of Champlain in recent years.
Totally. And they talked about it every day on live, like Tommy and Zona, and like they literally are like, this is just a difficult thing for us to cover, right? It's like, how do you make this entertaining? And I think the technology is getting better. We're seeing it with being able to watch that stuff. And again, like you said, for the people who are, I would say the majority of people watching Bassmaster are tournament fishermen or really love the game. And probably at this point, if they don't have a live unit, they're working on getting one. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think the learning aspect of watching how guys do that, you can certainly learn what guys are looking at, by having that coverage and watching the best in the world do it. So I think there's some benefit there, but you're right. Like it's fun to watch a guy catch a big largemouth, flip a big largemouth up, and like those kinds of things. That's one of my favorite things about Champlain and about places like that is having the dual species and that battle between the two or both. And so it did make it a little bit like it was just all scoping, right?
Yeah, I think smallmouth tournaments, like they've always been pretty one-dimensional for the most part, right? Like we know it's going to be a Ned rig, drop shot, tube, small swim bait, jerk bait. Like we know that's probably going to be the deal. It's just a shame that the largemouth didn't play in this one because this was like the one smallmouth event where I was like looking forward to more than just live scope fest. But
totally,
they're going to have to adapt on how they cover it. Hopefully they don't change it though too much.
Yeah.
Still got to be here for us guys, right?
Yeah. Well, I think he's done yelling at his wife, so we'll try to bring him in here. We got you now?
Yeah, I hope so.
I think we're good. The coast is clear.
He's going to start time traveling again soon. Just watch.
Yeah, all I could hear was you guys laughing at me. I was like, what am I doing? My wife's running around the house. My wife's running around the house. Turn all your devices off. And I'm like, you got to turn off your 9 baseball games. Like she's like a crazy MLB fan. I don't even know why. Ever since the girls were kids, man, she's just like, she's out there yelling at the Giants for getting beat right now. Anyway, sorry to derail you guys.
You're good. We actually have we're about to drop into talking about St. Lawrence River here. We have Wes Logan in the queue. We're about to bring in, and they haven't actually started practice yet, which is unusual for other weeks. So we'll just kind of do a little download of what might go down, from a pro's perspective, looking at the weather coming up, things of that nature. But let's really quickly go around the horn and shout out your points from Champlain. Anything else that might have surprised you, anything of that sort. But Andy, you want to go first?
Sure. I had 848. My team stunk, and I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Okay, deal.
I'm there, buddy. That's bad.
Stunk.
I will follow you in that suit, Andy, saying that my team stunk worse. I had 809. Never would I have thought Seth Fighter and Gussie would be in the high 60s on Champlain.
On a Demiki rigging tournament, Gussie.
Yeah, for sure.
That bad.
And I was also more unfortunate for him. I feel really bad for the guy, but picked Josh Douglas and Bucket E and had boat issues on day one, putting him in the very last place. But he moved up one spot. He came back. He came roaring back. Hopefully that doesn't have a problem for him next week. But yeah, 809. Deacon?
Yeah, I had 1,030. Jay Shakirat, awesome tournament for him. Chris Johnston, great pick, kind of always up north. Yeah, Gussie, tough there. Taku, 30th, can't complain about that, and especially with the Bucket D. And then KJ Queen, 74th. But
KJ had a rough go at it.
Yeah,
he's having a rough go in general. He's been dude's driving back to Alabama. All right, Brennan.
I had kind of a weird one. I had a good one, so it was weird for me. I had 1,080, which I guess isn't that good, but I had Brian Schmidt, Pat Schlopper, Paul Mueller, Keith Combs. Keith Combs got 52nd. That's my worst finish, and then Bradley Hallman with a 43rd. So had a couple top 20s for my first three, and nobody really too bad. So decent tournament.
Nice. Boomer, rub it in.
I had 1133.
Jeez.
Fouts was the Fouts was the man. Again, he got 8th. Taku, I didn't know this, but if you guys didn't know this, but Taku had major arm or shoulder surgery this year. He had to switch hands in the middle of the season. He had to learn how to reel with the other hand. So I think that actually is kind of holding him back a little bit. But he got 30th. Oh, wow. Yeah, they had a big story on it. I didn't even know it. Corey Johnston, I told you, man, that dude's fishing downhill. Coop had 18th, and Polikanik was surprisingly my lowest pick at 56th.
That was weird to see.
I talked to him. He said he lost. He said he's never lost that many fish at the boat in his career. I mean, he came roaring back the next day and weighed almost 22. So, but Bryant was right. If you weigh 13 or 15, you're not in that tournament and you're not coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're like a 25-pound bag just to have a shot at the cut.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't think there was anything weighed over 24, right?
No.
It's not very possible.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, really fast, we're going to bring Wes in here. Let me go through points updated. So we got Boomer in the lead with 9,492. Deacon taking over second with 9,101. I'm in third with 8,892. Andy with 8,754. Brennan bringing up the caboose with 8,698.
Oh, yeah, bud.
Oops.
Big comeback, Brennan.
Yep.
Huge.
Yep. It's going to be a big tournament for me. Let's go.
Without further ado,
has the same picks.
Without further
What were we
ado,
just talking about? If you have 15 pounds, you're out of it.
Yeah.
I have 8 pounds at Champlain right now. And I gotta catch
buddy, I think you got a Josh Douglas, boat problems. I think that's what you got.
Yeah. I have mechanical problems.
Hey, Wes had a good tournament. Don't forget to congrat him when he gets on there.
We're getting there, man.
Yeah,
stealing my thunder here. I was about to just
we're following along. Come on, Boomer.
They had a good
yelling
tournament.
at your wife, and now we're yelling at you. All right, without further ado, let's bring him out here. Mr. Wes Logan, what's going on, man?
What's up, guys? How are y'all?
Good, man.
Good.
Dude, good.
Congrats on a good derb at Old Champ.
Thank you. It was a good week. I was in the right areas. I didn't get quite the quality of bites, and then on day 3, I started there, and actually me and Justin were kind of fishing really close to each other. And around lunch, I was like, "Dude, I'm getting out of your way. Like I'm leaving. Like I don't want to be throwing it anymore. I don't want my boat here. Like you got a chance to do something special." So I actually went largemouth fishing. I heard y'all talking about it why it didn't play, but I went largemouth fishing the rest of the day and caught 18 pounds. So that was pretty cool. But you just
what's happening?
Do what?
So it was going down. Like you could go catch.
Yeah, you could catch some, but I think you would have to get really fortunate to catch 20 pounds. And the problem is now is there, which I haven't fished Champlain very much. That was only my 3rd time there. But you, in the past, 16, 17 pounds of smallmouth at Champlain was like you were topped out, and guys could go catch 19 pounds of largemouth if you got lucky and you would win. Well, 19 pounds of largemouth now don't. I mean, you'd finish in the 30s if you did it both days. Like it's just. It's a whole different deal. And I actually talked to with Schmidt about it the morning of day 3. I was like, dude, what's going on here? Like, why are they so much bigger? And he's like, man, I don't really think they've gotten much bigger. He said, I think we're catching fish that have never been fished for. He said, because how could you? He said, yeah, every now and then on 2D, you might find a school under some bait for a minute and catch, a random 5-pounder. But now we're able to troll around, thousands of yards in 2 or 3 days of a tournament and throw it. 10 fish under a bait ball over 60 foot of water that are 20 foot deep. Like you're not going to find those fish on 2D back in the day. Like that's, and he said, you'd hear random guys catching a 5.5 pound smallmouth that was real fat that, everybody just thought it was a freak thing. But he said, now everybody's just, and it's like that anywhere. I mean, we're all fishing for fish that hadn't really been fished for, but that's the day we're living in now.
Right.
But the largemouth are still there and they're healthy, and they like to bite. But
because they have no pressure,
right? Yeah. I mean, I'm not somebody you could go, flip some milfoil or throw a frog in some mats and catch 22 pounds. It can happen because there's 6-pounders there. But over and over and over again, no, it's not going to be a huge factor anymore. Not the way it's going. Done.
Yeah, that's a bummer. But so you did try to do the smallmouth thing then, right off the get go.
Yeah, I went straight into practice in the tournament. I was like, I'm gonna, I've gotten my butt kicked too much trying to be stubborn about it. I'm just gonna go out there, put my head down, literally and figuratively, and find the right area and find around a group, get around the right quality of fish. And I mean, I think I got kind of fortunate. The first place I stopped on in practice, like within 10 minutes, I caught a 5.5 and a 4 3/4. I'm like, well, I figured out the deal. Now I just got to, kind of put it together. And like I said, we just didn't quite get the quality in the boat or get the bites, in the actual tournament. But I mean, when you know how they're going to catch them, like how it's going to get one, that's what you got to go try and do. I mean, and at the end of the day, if you're at the end of practice and you kind of back up and punt, and just try and find something to survive. But when you know how it's going to go down, that's kind of what I wanted to do in that situation anyway.
Did you know that? Did most of you guys know that going into practice that it was going to be an offshore scope derby?
I don't know if everybody did. I don't really talk to anybody in practice. Like hardly. I just kind of keep to myself. So it's kind of hard to judge what was going on. But once I caught some fish, out there scoping, and then I fished shallow the second day of practice, and I feel like was the same age class of fish that were way skinnier and didn't I caught that 5.5 the first day, and then I caught one that I thought should have weighed 5 the second day of practice, and it only weighed 3 3/4 because it was 22 inches long, but it wasn't built the same. And man, when you see that, and when you start playing games of ounces, you've got to have every, the fattest fish you can find, and it was kind of a giveaway once you kind of figured that out. But the only thing that was kind of a deciding factor, that was kind of not deciding, but bothering me about the largemouth is with that real high water, there was just so much stuff to fish. There was a lot of reeds, a lot of mats, the docks had plenty of water on them. So I just kept thinking it might be a thing, but when you can catch 23 pounds of smallmouth, and there's so many more of them, it's stupid to go try and do anything else, really.
I think that's what Christy was doing. I think the first day he had mostly largemouth, if I remember correctly, because day 2 he was on camera watching him punch reeds way up on the bank that you could tell was flooded.
Yeah, that's how I caught them. When I did go largemouth fishing, I caught them all flipping a 1 ounce weight. But I mean, and it was fun, like 60-pound braid. Like it's the funnest stuff you can do. But I mean,
you're having more fun than the guys offshore, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
put the camera in Wes's boat for that day. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been fun to watch because for that 2.5, 3 hours, we put a freaking clinic on. Like it was. I don't know if I just hit them right when they were biting, but I mean, dude, I bet I caught 30, 35. Like it was just. But I mean, it's like you go fishing in a pond. Like they've never seen a bait, but again, you're catching 2 3/4 to 3 1/4 pounders. Actually, when I went, I ran all the way to this reed line that I'd had 2 bites on in practice. In my first flip in a mat, I caught a 4 1/4. I'm like, this might be really good, and it kind of went downhill size-wise after that. But they did bite really good. But yeah. I don't know. I don't know about the forward-facing deal. I mean, I heard y'all talking about it, but you could talk about that for hours.
Right.
I don't know.
What do you think? Just last question on this, and then we'll kind of dig in a little bit of St. Lawrence. But what do you think? Because you mentioned you were around Atkins. What do you think set the top 10 apart from the rest of the field that was doing that?
Just from what I could see, and I was actually where we were fishing. We weren't very far from like where Kioya was, and I don't even remember who else was over there. But you could like it wasn't like side by side, but you could see in the distance a little group of boats here and group of boats there. I mean, I think where Justin was at, he actually had a. You know, it's kind of cliche to say that you read in the magazines. He had a spot within the spot, basically. Mm-hmm. Like he had the where they were at. He knew what bait to be throwing. Like he knew, like he had it dialed in that good. Like I knew it was the right area because the size fish was there, but I didn't have it dialed in as good as he did. And I mean, when you got to do, and even if you're not buddies with a guy, you got a guy that's that dialed in. Like, and you're doing good, but like. He has a chance. You don't have many chances to win an elite tournament. Like, dude, give the guy some space.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I don't know. I don't know. I really want to go into a topic on that, but I'm not nothing between me and him, but just in general with fishing, like it's getting. I don't know if people are getting desperate, like getting out of hand, like just coming in on people. But it's
no bueno.
It's not good. It's really like that bent rod pattern is the truest thing I've ever seen, especially in the past few events. But I don't know. It is what it is.
Yeah. So you feel like
scary to hear that at the elite level. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's increased over your career, Wes. You feel like?
Oh yeah, 100%, like completely. And again, I'm no genius. I mean, dude, I'm 29 years old, just trying to catch a bass and make a living. But you just see things happening and hear stuff being said, and you're like, dude, what? Like, why are you? What's going on? Oh, let me put my hood on and just troll around beside you. I'm not here. It's like an invisible cloak. Like everybody puts their hood on. It's like you can't see them. Like I can still see you. Like you're still there, buddy. You know what I mean?
Oh, jeez. That's not good. That's a bummer to hear.
Yeah, but not on a negative note. And it doesn't happen everywhere. It doesn't happen all the time. But it does happen in certain situations. And you're just like, and I'm not just talking about with me. Like I saw it happen like over here and over there. Like day one, there was 2 boats there, and there were 2 of the dudes that were smashing them. And then all of a sudden, day 2 rolls up, and there's 30 boats over there. It's like, where'd y'all all come from?
Yeah, finding their own fish. Good Lord.
I mean, it like I said, it is what it is. And I mean, most of the time when that stuff happens, and if you're in a situation like they were over there and some guys rolled up on them, a lot of times those guys don't really catch them anyway. But they just kind of, they just mess up everything. But
get in the way.
And normally it's not a big deal, but sometimes it can be. Sometimes it can affect the outcome of a tournament. But that's been going on. I mean, guys doing that stuff, like hole jumping and stuff, so that has affected tournaments since, beginning of time.
Right.
And I don't know. I don't like again. I think it may be desperation. And I mean, like I said, we're all trying to get a little piece of the pie when there's not a big pie going around. So it could have a lot to do with it.
Well, it's always nice to see the people that respect the code, like yourself, Wes.
So I've made mistakes. I've made plenty of mistakes, but I do try and do the right thing.
Yeah. Well, I respect the hell out of that. Dude, I know obviously you guys have not been able to get on the water yet for St. Lawrence River, but I saw it looking at my Windfinder app. I saw you talk about it in your caption on your post too. Mother Nature, as of right now, knock on wood all over the place. She might be nice to you guys this week.
Yeah, I don't. I've got, we all have 4 or 5 different weather apps when we come up here for sure, and it's not looking. Thursday anyway. Thursday's looking really bad, really sketchy. I mean, it's looking. I mean, like 25 to 30 out of the southeast, and with some mixed in like thunderstorms and stuff, and I actually think it's supposed to blow pretty hard the whole tournament. It's just going to change directions, every day it's going to swap. But I mean, I think anything aside from that, anything with a south in it is kind of manageable here, for the most part. But that south, it's going to be coming, all the way from, pretty much Buffalo over there and coming up, whatever that is, 600 miles. I mean, I don't know, but I do know that nothing will be cut off limits for this tournament. Like they're not going to like make the lake off limits because of weather or anything. So I do know that. But as far as us fishing, that obviously that's going to be up in the air till the morning of, like it was at Champlain. But it makes it, I will say, it makes it very hard, and I'm trying to think of a good word. Like it makes your mind wonder because we've been cut down to 2 days now on a river that's 100 miles long and a lake that's as big as an ocean. So now we have 2 days that are going to be, fairly calm, like very easy to maneuver and all that kind of stuff. But now you got to decide, well, if they send us on Thursday, you're not going to the lake. I mean, maybe the Johnsons will because they grew up doing it. I'm not going out there. I mean, I've never been in 8-foot waves, and I mean, or 7-foot, or 6-foot waves, regardless. So do you spend your time in the river, or is there going to be a break where you have a chance to go to the lake, where obviously if you're fishing here, you want to be in the lake, or I do, just to have a chance to, that's where it would more than likely get one at. So it kind of messes with your practice thought about, well, I can spend 2 days of practice in the lake because it's going to be calm the next 2 days, but we may not even get to go out there for one day. And then you're just going, junk fish in the river and catch, let's say you junk fish in the river, catch 17 pounds and you're in 86. Like, now what you do? So,
yeah, that's tough.
Ridiculous.
It makes it the weather call thing to me. I feel like in professional fishing and just honestly tournament fishing in general, the last 5 years, right? Like I feel like for good reason, safety of anglers has come into play a lot more, and they cut down on when it's going to be gnarly out. They'll just cancel the tournament, cancel the day. But it's interesting in this one, and are you guys going out of Messina, or where are you guys going out of?
We're going out of Clayton, down here near the lake.
Right. Okay. So, because my thought is like if you're in the river, right? It's like it's probably, I don't know. I've only been there one time, but like the river felt very protected compared to everything obviously in the lake. But it was like, is it calm enough where you can go in the river? But then it just like, does that call get made because like, well, we know some guys are going to go to the lake, so we cancel it? Like that doesn't seem right. But at the same time, if you're right at the mouth there, then maybe it's real bad everywhere.
I know.
Yeah, I've seen it real bad, like right here where we're putting in at. One day of practice last year, it was blowing real hard on the lake, and I was like, well, I'm just going to stay here in the river. And it was, I mean, there was 4-footers. I mean, it was like in the river. The problem is it gets with that current, and it just comes in off the lake. Like even if the wind's blowing, like if it was coming like straight like across the lake, like going towards Canada. The way the wind turns by the way the land lays right there at Cape Vincent, like to come down the river, it just kind of turns and just comes straight up it. So, I mean, it's kind of hard to say, but I don't know. I'm glad I'm not a tournament director in that situation.
Right.
Because I am a little, I'm not going to say I'm scared because I'm probably not scared of a whole lot. But I'm probably more dumb on that situation. But anyways, I was at the tournament, actually the Costa Series at the time at Okeechobee when that guy when they had that boat wreck. And the guy passed away, Nick Kaler. And dude, it wasn't even really that bad. Like when we took off out of the river, and like you could tell the flags were straight out, but where we were at was protected. And like probably 4 miles into the lake, like didn't have much going on. And then all of a sudden you get to that breaking point. Well, like, I mean, if you're a tournament director and you go by, well, right here at the launch, it's fine. Well, like you just said, well, if you got guys that, you think are going in the lake and you got 8-footers out there and you've got a guy with a Marshall going to go out there. I mean, I don't really know how you make that call.
Totally.
Again, like I said, I'm glad I'm not, that's a way above my pay grade.
Yeah. No, that's a valid point, man. That really is, because you can't fishermen are crazy, man. Like they're gonna like, especially the Johnston guys, the guys who are like, man, I can go in anything. They're gonna go, and so you got to not protect that life. You got to protect.
Right. That's the whole deal. And I mean, and I think I've heard. I don't know exactly how true this is, but I think there is some truth to it. If there's a small craft advisory issued, I think all of our insurances like are voided if we go out there.
Yeah,
like all of our boat insurance. So if something were to happen, like, but and I don't know if there's if there's a small craft advisory on the lake, does that pertain to us because it's actually legit tournament waters, or I mean, it's a whole deal. But I don't know. But for a tournament standpoint, it makes it very tough for a guy like me that doesn't have a lot of experience up here to decide what he wants to do in practice. Just like where you want to be, what you want to go do and go try, but do you really need to go spend that time out there when you may not even get to go out there? But one day.
Yeah, that's crazy tough practice decision.
Yeah, with 2 days. If you had 3 days, it'd be a little bit different. It'd give you another 8 or 9 hours, because when you really look at it, it's really not 2 days because you can't practice Wednesday night till dark. Or I guess you could, but you're gonna be dead. Like,
be wore out.
Yeah.
How did the off day affect the Champlain tournament? Didn't seem like it had a major effect.
Man, to be honest, I think it helped.
Yeah.
I think it helped the fishing, like the actual fish, because they kind of got beat up on day one. They wasn't really, you got guys in these areas in practice, and you catch 1 or 2 or 3, and then you kind of move on. But then they get just sat down on top of on Thursday and just get yanked on and get trolled over all day. And it seemed like they kind of scattered out, like got really like kind of just disappeared halfway through the day on the first day. And then it's like they showed back up right at the evening as people like the flight. I was in a later flight the first day, and like stuff started, like people started leaving, it started calming down. It's like they showed back up. And then I rolled up there, after our off day, the second morning, and like, dude, when I put my trolling bar down, they were everywhere. And I had a terrible execution day. I lost them, broke some off. But it just looked like there was a lot more fish back there, like they were supposed to be.
Right. Needed a little resting time and set them back up.
Yeah. And then it got a little bit tougher during the day. And then day 3, it wasn't near as good. Fish were still kind of there, but they were getting harder to catch. Like it started out like if you threw it one, like 90% of the time he was going to run over there and eat it. And it got to where they would kind of just slowly follow it down and kind of would just sit there and hover around it and stuff. And you could swap baits up and, get one to react every now and then. It wasn't near as good as it was when we started, but I really do think it helped things. And I'm going to be honest, I'm glad we didn't go out there because I was fixing to dread it, because it was as bad as it was coming in the first day. I didn't want to go start the day having to go out there with it like that. And it been a freaking lightning storm as well.
Sure.
Yeah. Smart call by Lisa.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
For sure. Well, buddy, I want to take up too much more of your time, but last question, unless the guys got something else. What do you think total weight-wise over 4 days can take?
Man, it's hard to say it won't take 100 just because it has before and it's come so close, in the past also. But if somebody's going to do it, it's going to be, your usual, 3 or 4 guys, whether it's either one of the Johnstons, Jay, Shakurik, they've obviously Jay caught 100, Corey caught 100, but it's for sure going to be around that 95. They're just, if they fish in the river or on the lake, like regardless of how bad the weather is, the guys that really know this place can hide out of it, or know somewhere to go catch 22 to 23 and it not be a problem. So it's hard to say that that's not going to be a deal. As far as that 90, I would say 92 to 95 is like a guaranteed. And if the weather's okay, like if it kind of levels back out, it'll be real close to 100 again, I'm sure. Because the fish have got to be, as fat as they've been all year right now, I'm sure. That's how smallmouth kind of work. They just eat all year till they stop when it gets too cold. But yeah, and again, I'm no smallmouth expert. Like I just made my first smallmouth cut a week ago, like, or 2 days. Actually, yesterday.
Hey-o.
That's pretty good. Oh,
but it's just the nature of the beast here. Like they're just that big if you can find the right ones and actually, put them in the boat and get them to bite.
Oops, sorry.
What are you doing, Andy?
What was that, Andy?
What was that?
The wave report. It was the wave report. I wasn't sure. Can I put that up, Wes?
Oh, it don't matter.
Okay.
Yeah,
so, because you're talking about
if it's public knowledge, it's no problem.
Yeah. So it's the wave report, right? So The only day that looks sketchy is Thursday, but 1 to 3 feet on the Great Lakes, it's like a normal day.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's going to be bumpy. I don't see anything to where it's really going to be all that bad for Ontario. Because this is for Mexico Bay to the St. Lawrence.
3 footers for West
Thursday's really bad, and then after that, it's not bad.
Yeah, and a southeast wind too on Lake Ontario is kind of protected. It's like the same wind here on that end of the lake, so you should be all right.
Nice. Well, maybe we'll go. I mean, I would rather not fish, into Monday again. Like, just go ahead and get it. Let's go ahead and get the butt kicking over with as quickly as we can.
Yeah. Well, I think too, like Sunday through like next Tuesday, the weather starts to change again for the worst based on some weather models. So, yeah, could get interesting if they push it back.
Around this time of year, I mean, it starts turning to like fall up here, doesn't it?
Yeah,
like it's like right there.
It's crazy,
100%.
man. It's you start like looking at trees and you're like, it's August. And they're like,
when we were driving over here this morning, I saw like 10 trees that the leaves were changing. Riley was like, are those leaves changing? I'm like, I guess it's 110 trees at the house. I don't know what's going on.
That started about a week and a half ago on like a lot of the smaller maple trees. They started turning red.
God, that's crazy. I guess that's what I saw. I mean, we don't have very many maples down there, but all of our trees down there, they'll be green they'll be green all the way through the winter, unless we get a real bad cold for a week.
Yeah, so
super jealous of that.
Well, I was talking about the weather forecast changes come like Monday. Monday, the high in Buffalo is 68.
Oh my God.
With a low of 50.
Yes, sir. Yeah. That means the wind's gonna blow.
Probably Sunday. Probably on Sunday.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Because weather don't just change on its own; it's got to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Well, Wes, thank you very much, buddy. Good luck this week. Get after him. Make it 2 smallmouth cuts, eh?
Hey, you never know. You may out here you could stumble upon the freaking mother load and never know what happens. But we'll see. We'll go out there and give it our best shot and try not to sink a boat or anything like that.
Yeah, let's try that to
be safe.
No, you broke the ice, man. You got your first cut. It's downhill from here. Top tens. Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. I appreciate the confidence.
Yeah,
yeah. Chris Johnson. That's what we're gonna say on Sunday.
See what bucket Wes is in.
Yeah.
Don't pick me. Do not pick me.
Insider trading. Appreciate it, buddy. And I'm sure you got to get up early in the morning, get after him, and good luck this weekend.
We'll go get them. Appreciate it, guys. Y'all have a good one.
Good luck.
Good luck, Wes.
See y'all.
It's going to be an interesting one, guys. Now that he's not in the queue anymore, I feel more comfortable talking about it. I don't want to get him in any trouble. But the way that wind is going to set up, the lake is going to be perfectly fishable through those 4 days. I mean, obviously that first day is going to suck. But, for somebody like the Johnstons or a Mueller or a Jay, guys that are comfortable in big water, they look at that forecast and they're like, please do not change.
Yeah, they lick their lips. Like, this is gonna be fun.
It's gonna kind of suck for the shallow bite ish on the lake, but I think
on a southeast wind though, like the guys that are fishing, like we'll call Black River to the mouth, it should be relatively protected on a southeast wind.
Yeah, I mean,
the Canadian shoreline is going to get wrecked.
Yeah.
That's going to be ruined. But the New York side,
Glue and everything, all those islands, the north sides are going to be perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. I mean, if you look in the past where Chad Morgan-Taylor and Clark Wendlandt have fished out in the lake towards Henderson, that's going to be perfectly fine.
Yeah. Maybe 1.5 to 2 footers. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. It's going to be an interesting event, boys. But I know that was
the Johnsons don't like to fish on that side, do they, as often?
No, they go Canada because it's home, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And they have all that stuff that's found
that's where they get their Timmy Hortons, Deacon.
Timmy Hortons. Midway
I'll refrain from the Canadian jokes.
5 pounds.
It's all good. Speaking of Tim Hortons on a tangent here, I was telling you about this, Bailey, but they put a pontoon boat on Simcoe, which is 2.5 hours north. They're selling Timmy Hortons on the lake. I'm like, why can't they do that in Buffalo? I'd be rolling up, grabbing a coffee every 2 hours come October.
Wait, New business plan. Why aren't we doing this on any
Because you're gonna sink a pontoon boat on Erie, but like,
yeah, not Erie. I'm talking like let's find a place that's a little more protected than.
You guys
can make
sell
it
your coffee.
regional.
You guys sell your coffee. I'll be selling beers to the anglers.
I was gonna say we gotta make this be
I'll be in
regional.
a giant pontoon with just coolers everywhere.
Dude, what talk about? Listen, hold up. Hire some high schoolers, okay, that are fishing fans. You do coffee at blast off in a pontoon boat, and then beers after. So like they get a fish that middle of the day in between, and then at the weigh-in, it's beers in the same pontoon boat. Boom.
Yeah, I mean,
it's probably illegal in some states, but
yeah,
probably illegal.
make it regional based. I mean, if you do your Florida to the Alabama boys, you got to have Busch Light and Michelob Ultra. That's all they drink down there, piss water. And then up north, you can have IPAs and Timmy Hortons, and you're good. Like you got a moneymaker. And then Tennessee stuff, you got moonshine. You're good. Like some business in the works, boys.
I like it.
All right, we should probably start getting to the picks. But you guys have any more? I feel like the predictions for this week are relatively straightforward.
All right,
it's gonna get one.
Demiki rig is gonna play less, and it's gonna be everybody staring at forward-facing drop shotting, like it's like Ontario.
Why does it play less there? Are they just not as often chasing bait in the middle of the water column?
Yeah, a lot of. It plays more like spring and fall because that's when your bait fish move back shallow, all your alewives and smelt, and that's when they'll start feeding up. This time of year, they're feeding down. The primary forage is gobies. So gobies don't have a air bladder in them, so they can't swim bladder, so they can't come up off the bottom. So they're primarily looking down or level. So and then crawfish, obviously, as well. But
Andy, my video that I'm going to post about my win on Lake Ontario will debunk that.
I'm sure it will, but
there's more to it, right?
Randy, what did you say? Force them to look up. Like that's the new thing. It's not.
I mean, I fish a drop shot. I run like 30, 36, 40 inches some days, and I try to get them to come up because everyone's so focused on getting them to eat down, but it's still goby colors.
Yeah.
So
there's more current though, right? That has a big effect on the way they have to set up too, right?
Yeah, it depends.
River.
Yeah, it depends on where you are in Ontario. If you're closer to the mouth, there's a lot more draw. But if you're like out and away and south, there's probably almost zero current on Ontario. Gotcha. There's too much stuff blocking it. Big points and islands.
Yeah. All right. Shall we get into it, fellas?
We shall.
Well, Brennan said it earlier. Deacon, you got to go first.
Amen, baby. This is where he starts diving. Watch. This is where the comeback starts right here.
Oh, yeah. From second to what are you in there, Brennan?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Ain't over till the fat lady.
Ain't over, baby.
All right. Bucket E. Yeah. Off air, we were talking about Bucket E, and everyone else was like, "Oh, I have some pick that I know about." And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't have anyone in here that I'm super confident in. I really don't." So I went with Kobe Krieger. He had a good tournament there last year. He does good up north, to be honest. He's more of a Champlain guy, right? Known for like big top waters and that kind of a thing. But he seems to do really well up north. So that was my pick. So I'm curious to hear what you guys all have.
Heck yeah, Boomer.
Hallman.
And did you have Hallman last week too, or was that Brennan?
No, but I wish I would have. Hallman's pulling his head out, and he killed all 5 fish on day 2. He was in the top 10.
Where's his head coming from?
I'm just confused. What do you mean by that?
Hey, wait. Well, I shouldn't say that. Hallman, like, is he's a streaky angler. Like, have you ever seen him? He's like, he'll win 2 and then get 3 lasts. And I'm not like 2 from last, but like last. But like he starts to like get on a move where he gets kind of grouchy and he just takes off. So, and that tournament last week was, I think him just had enough. You know what I mean? He gets grouchy and he's going. And that's not he does good up north, but he would have made the top 10 if he wouldn't have killed all 5 of his fish on day 2. They were all 5
of them.
Every one of them deader than disco.
Oh my God.
I saw that in the post. What happened? I saw his he's holding the no, they weren't. Oh, that was from Pool Noodles?
It's Pool Noodles.
On the live well.
I don't think that's Pool Noodles. I think that's they had those screens on a Phoenix will fill up with crawdad pinchers.
Yeah.
And what
But
was
it was,
green on it was,
like green and blue. It looked like pool noodles. And there
Well,
was
it
a couple
could be the
people
re-
posting.
He said he's
It
going to
could
talk
be the-
about it in his YouTube video. So
Oh, yeah.
whenever that comes out.
So maybe it is pool noodles. I've had it happen before, and the blue was rejuvenated. So, anyways, yeah, all 5 of them. I mean, that was a tough kick for a guy that's so far down on the points. But I look at every one of these guys, and half of these guys are the ones that got on the social media and complained about forward imaging. So they're hard to pick, right? Because even though this tournament won't be as much of forward imaging, in my opinion, maybe it will be.
I think it 100% will be, unfortunately.
Yeah. I'd take Allman. Plus,
You're taking him with greenfish?
No. Taking him with
brown.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Hot take.
I mean,
we can't blame like everything Boomer says into some of these. I'm just like, what? And the guy's freaking kicking butt. So I got nothing to say.
Yeah. I hope Hallman smashes him, man.
Yeah, I like that.
Everybody loves Bradley.
Fun to watch.
All right. Andy, I'll round up the caboose. You go next.
Micah Frazier previously won on the St. Lawrence River, and he always fishes the same stretch somewhere between Ogdensburg and Waddington, and he catches them. I think last year he was in the top 10 as well. So, yep, there's my pick in Group E.
That is a great pick.
So far, we have been different, so I'm feeling a little bit better about this.
All right, Brennan.
All right. Well, I also went Micah Frazier. He was kind of a diamond in the rough there. I was close, though.
He didn't do well last year,
No,
though.
I think he was like 15th or 14th. He did pretty decent.
Are you thinking about Mark?
I think he's got an open win here or a win, an elite win, and then he's got a couple top 10s. Yeah.
Hold on.
And Micah both are in the 60s last year.
We will fact check this right now.
Okay.
Check me out.
Yeah, I'm looking it up. He didn't do good last year, I don't think.
Maybe not last year, but he's got plenty of St. Lawrence success.
2 years in a row,
he won.
Like the top.
He won an elite.
There you go. Got that
and then the year after, he finished in the top 10. So
yeah, pretty solid track record. I didn't think there was a ton of great choices here. I was thinking about Kyle Norsetter, though. Sturgeon Bay guy also had a pretty good finish at Champlain, I believe. So another consideration there, but I am going Frazier.
I dig it. Well, I really wanted to go Joshy Douglas, but I trust him. I don't trust his boat. So we're going to leave him alone for St. Lawrence River, and hopefully it's...
What was his boat issue?
I don't know. That's what I saw in the post.
I love hearing about boat issues.
Everybody loves a good boat wreck.
I love just because boats suck, but not even. I just want to know what happened. And it's like, was it the mercury?
I had a coil burn up last week, 30 seconds before a Tuesday night takeoff. No joke.
Hey, honestly, better than I blew a motor up in my buddy's boat coming back to a weigh-in. Like we had our fish.
And you had them too.
5 minutes to get back. Yeah, and luckily we were able to have a boat come grab us in just the perfect amount of time. But you want to talk about a stress level of blowing a motor up, seeing the weigh-in and being like, we need to go right there, right now.
You couldn't last 30 more seconds.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And
yeah,
it's
I hope
amazing how many people pass you, by the way, was what blew me away. It's like we were waving all these, everyone's coming in. You're just waving, and no one stopped. And finally, everybody stopped. It's like, wow.
You're like, that's one donator we don't have to worry about. Yeah, I assume everything's good because he fished day 2. I hope everything's all good. I think Josh could do really well in this event. But I took a shot in the dark here, guy that qualified through the Northerns, and I went with Alex Wetherell. Hasn't had a good, really great tournament this year. He had one top 10 at what was it? Lay? Is it Lay? Some grinder. He had a top 10 at, or no, Sabine. But he qualified through the Northerns. So I'm going to go with the guy that's from the North. A little shot in the dark on this one, but that's the only way I'm going to be able to catch old Boomer over here. So
I thought about that as a pick.
Yeah, we'll see. Beyond that,
hey, let me highlight something.
Okay.
Whoever said Norsetter, I feel like that's going to eat everybody in this group. I'll tell you that right now.
I don't think
nobody picked. So I think Brandon said Norsetter is a big pick.
That was
and
me.
I gotta feel like he's gonna win this group. And I'm not gonna take him. I'm gonna stay honorable to Holman. But I just got to do a little digging around, and I actually think he's the better pick. So If this show was about what's your best pick, I'm going to stick with Hallman. But I think Norsetter's the guy.
Excellent advice. Excellent advice. Do what you don't do what you know you should do is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't trust your gut is what you're saying.
Just went off on the Hallman thing. I'm going to stay with Hallman. But Norsetter's been eating at me. And then Brennan said that. And I'm like, damn it.
That's like seeing a red light and then like, I'm going anyway.
I'm doing it.
Good advice.
We can make it.
Like yelling at your wife. I probably shouldn't, but I'm going to do it anyway.
That's right.
That's awesome, though. Respect for keeping Hallman. I like that.
Yeah,
That's all right. When Holman wins with like 110 pounds of smallmouth, we'll all eat our words.
Yeah.
He's the guy that can do it too. He's just so mad. He just goes
because he's so mad, just out of spite. He's
going to catch 6 pounders,
and it's going to be on 20-pound in a jig, and he's just
bolt flips freaking a 6.5, just like nothing.
Yeah.
All right.
I can't believe the amount of people in the chat, guys, that are picking Pipkins, and none of us are choosing Pipkins. Pretty wild.
Yeah, I don't know. I like chat.
I wish I could see the chat. I guess I'm glad I can't.
You can.
You can. There's a
you just hit comments.
It's the last show.
Dude, you figured out how to time travel and you can't read comments?
It's the last show.
What the hell, man?
Oh, I'll figure it out.
The last show.
I gotta get the worst part is I have a degree in engineering, computer engineering. All right, carry on. Oh yeah, there. I'm sorry, I've got the full screen on.
This has been going on.
Boomer, you're showing your age.
I know, and this is what I used to do for a living.
Dude, technology is hard, though.
Yeah, it is, especially at my age.
Well, there you go. There's that giant chat button in the right hand
corner.
Yeah,
I can see all these people.
A whole new world just opened to Boomer right there.
I thought for sure it was just like something that only the moderators got.
He's just going to be engaging with people in the chat all night now. He's just going to forget he's even on the stream.
Yeah.
Hey, good.
Drew's
comment.
right. We should have been talking trash about Boomer all season.
He never would have known.
He never would have known.
I wouldn't have either.
Oh no.
All right, sorry, I'm derailing tonight's show. I'm glad it's the last one. I'm bringing you guys down.
Oh shoot!
All right,
we'll make our season recap show in the next couple of weeks. So just a Boomer roast.
Yeah, I need one.
Yeah.
My teenage girls don't do it enough. I need more from everybody else.
More. Give me more. All right, Deacon. Bucket D.
Bucket D. All right. Bucket D, man. I'm riding the Alex Redwine train in D. Again, I think I did this exact pick last year just because I was with him on the St. Lawrence River when he qualified for the elites, and it was a cool experience and all that kind of thing. And he went out into the lake, and I watched him absolutely demolish fish, doing what he did kind of this week too, right? Just with a drop shot at that time. So excited to see him do well. Super comfortable in big water, super comfortable in chasing big smallmouth around. So. And he's fishing really well right now, and he's definitely, I think, he'll do well in this derby.
I'm with that. Boomer.
Same thing. I think the two picks in there is Redwine and Phelps.
Whoa!
What?
Giving it away for?
Well,
not giving away picks, man. What the heck?
I'd say I took Redwine, but I think I really want to take Phelps because he saved my butt last tournament.
And you stuck it in there. You found a way to sneak it in there.
Yeah, sorry. But
I'm picking Phelps now.
Anyways, I'll take Redwine and I'll be quiet. Redwine has more experience than Lawrence. Sorry.
Oh, I love it. I love it, Boomer. All right, Andy, what do you got?
Red wine. He's just on fire.
Red wine.
Red wine.
Brennan, what do you got?
Red wine. No, I did go red wine though. Yeah, fishing great. Roommates with Jay Shakur, that really helps. Jay's got a win here. They're both Great Lakes guys, him and Jay. If you're a Great Lakes guy, you just have a way different understanding of these bodies of water, and it's a massive advantage. So you got to take them. I'm taking red wine.
I hate that old Zal Deasy here has been on a rough break because I kind of really wanted to take him in this one, but I'm going with old Fouts.
Ooh,
that is a good pick. Very solid.
Damn you.
I'm glad you all went red wine. Thank you for the deal breaker. Fouts is actually, he's got a lot of time spent up there. And the past 2 events, I've gotten a text from him in practice on like the last or second to last day of practice. And he says, they better not sleep on me this week. So I'll be waiting for that text either tomorrow or Wednesday. If I get that text, it'll confirm that pick here.
Insider trading.
Yeah,
let us know so we can switch our picks.
Yeah. Hey, I'm just saying the kid's riding confidence right now.
I like it.
He had a great tournament last tournament.
Mm-hmm. Sick too, super sick, wasn't he?
Yeah, he says he's got a virus or something.
Dude, I had him picked, and he made that post about being sick and like not sure how he was going to do the final day. I'm like, come on, bud, get some Pepto, figure it out. Okay, this team's struggling. We gotta go,
dude. I'm the biggest wuss when I'm sick. Like literally, the idea of fishing a tournament on the Great Lakes being sick sounds absolutely miserable.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds
it's fun, especially when the wind blows. Been there enough.
Super fun.
Just have some dude wipes handy. You'll be good to go. All right. Group C. Deegan.
Dude, I think this one's tough for me. I've been riding the Taku train, but literally with what Boomer said about the whole arm thing, it's got me kind of
That's all a lie.
Second guessing things. Is it really actually a lie?
No, I have no idea. I'm sure he's correct.
Well, if you look at his past there, he finished first in 2021, right? Out of Waddington. Mm-hmm. And then he finished 13th in 2022. The other pick, and I know I'm not trying to take away someone else's pick here, but I was like, dang, someone else who does extremely well up north is Justin Atkins. And Atkins has finished both second in the 2021 Elite there, and then in the 2022 he finished 15th. So pretty dang close. So I'm gonna go Atkins on this one. And that is not a traditional northern pick, but it should be. I noticed Bailey always picks him up north, but it's good reason if you actually look at the stats behind him. He really does catch him up north.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump the line here and just say I'm also picking Atkins. Which I was looking at him for the Champlain event, and I didn't pick him, and he did really well. And then I'll pick him now, and then he won't do well. It's just my streak of history with Justin. Hopefully he does do well. But yeah, I'm also picking Atkins. Boomer.
Taku.
Taku.
Yeah, I feel like he's fishing injured. I don't think that Champlain was. I don't know. I think he's better when he's throwing a drop shot with a scope. And like Andy said, this is a drop shot scope derby. Where like if you have to chase boulders, like he's the boulder genius, right? He'll be able to hunt them down and stuff like that. So Atkins is a good pick. Here's my this is the last show, so I'm just going off. I think Gustafson's gonna play.
Yeah.
I do.
Play on Sunday?
Big time. I think he's gonna make me wish I picked him.
Okay.
So that's my 2 cents. My 3 cents is free.
Your 3 cents. Andy, what about you?
I'm surprised nobody has picked him so far. Paul Mueller. Last year, he almost had the Century Club. And then the year before, when they were all fighting over the one buoy, he went out and caught like an 8-pounder in the river. The guy gets northern smallmouth. He's one of the best with forward facing. He's going to crack him. He'll be in the top 10 on Sunday. I have a funny feeling.
Boom. Great pick.
Brennan?
I too went Paul, and I could see Paul like flat out winning this thing, honestly, dude. I know the last tournament that he finished second in, I talked to him after the event. There was a walleye boat next to him, like several, not too far away. And I guess like at one point, one boat approached him and was like, dude, you got to get out of here. Like this is getting unsafe. And he makes the run back and has like 30 minutes to spare, left him biting. And he just barely lost to Chris in that event. So kind of a heartbreaker. He's kind of due for one. Paul pops off like once a year, it seems like, and he hasn't had one. He's fishing pretty good right now. I think he's in the Classic, so he's got that monkey off his back now, assuming he doesn't bomb here. I like Paul.
I dig it. One thing I'd also look for some sleepers are Jonathan Kelly has done well here in the opens. Like I think he was like 4th on the open that Corey won. and was fishing in the lake. And then also Seth's always a wild card and stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Group E, Deacon.
Dude, I think this is the most cardinal sin of the year.
Like, should be a crime.
I'm not picking a Johnston in Group B.
What?
Like,
no.
What are you doing?
Thing that I think I could ever say, but I'm going Clark Wendlandt in bucket B.
What?
Absolutely.
Clark is so good up there, though.
Yeah, that's the one exception. That's the one exception.
And he absolutely, like, you look at his stats on the St. Lawrence, and he finished in the top 10 every time. And he loves big water, and he loves fishing on the side of the lake that he can get to in this derby on Thursday. So I'm going Clark Wendlandt, and that is the craziest thing I think I've ever said.
No, I love it. I love it. He catches them every time. It's like, oh, there's Clark. Like,
I don't know. I see
you hear him talk on live. He's like, I love big water more than anything else. I'll go in any of it. Like, and he, you know, he's an older guy. Like, he's like, let's go.
Yeah.
Just send it.
17-foot waves on Erie? Screw it. Why not?
The dude wrecks smallmouth, though. I mean, for being a Texas guy, like, he is a freak.
And he was one of the early adopters, right, of forward facing. Like, he was a Garmin guy. He was one of the few that had it early. Like, he's been doing it a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, man. I don't know. There's a I won't talk out of turn here. Boomer.
I think this bucket sucks. Bucket.
It is. It's so messed
Boomer's
up.
going
All these
Kennedy.
guys.
He's gonna go throw a
This
glide
bucket's
bait all day
horrible.
in the river.
I have to take Corey. I think
You just got to continue fishing downhill.
I think he's mad that his brother's won and he hasn't. Like, I watched him on stage the second day, and his kid was like running around, and you could tell he was mad he didn't have a bigger bag. He was like, "Oh, you could," what's Dave, the announcer? He's like, "Your kid's all over the place." Yeah, he's all over, but I don't really care. Just weigh my bag and get me out of here. I think he's just mad. Like, I can't take anybody that doesn't feel like the guy's
But
got
being mad could be a distraction too, because now you're thinking too much.
Well, maybe, except for the fact that he just keeps getting better every tournament. So
fair enough.
I think he's a driven guy. He's a guy that I would not crack a Canadian joke in front of. I'll tell you that right now. I wouldn't be like, "Hey, it's French fries and gravy." You know, I think he would just grab you and break you.
Called poutine.
in half.
Missing the cheese boomer.
That's right. He would bust you in half and throw you down under his boat and then drive over you on his way out. That's what I like about him.
He'll back up first and then go over you again.
And then, yeah. Oh, make a Canadian joke, eh? Beat you up, leave you there. I kind of like that about him. But of the picks, I'm not giving Deacon credit, but that was a good pick too. That was a really good pick.
Thanks,
Andy.
Anyways,
I'm going his brother. I'm taking Chris.
Ooh.
No explanation needed.
Just
He's
Chris. He's gonna be in the top 10. Corey will either win it or his boat's gonna break down every day, and you're gonna see him in 3 different boats because that's happened to him on the St. Lawrence.
Trolling motor's gone.
Yeah, because that's what happens when you're mad. You overlook the little things.
Yeah, maybe. He's just so mad.
Brendan, what do you got?
I'm gonna fall into the Corey Johnston trap. I mean, he's been a bridesmaid for too long. I fully understand like the anger thing, and I think that could add some extra motivations. But he needs a win, and this is his best chance to do it, and he knows it too. So he's fishing mad at him for sure. I'm picking Corey.
I like it. I feel like it was a crime for Bassmaster to put these guys all in the same bucket. At least the bottom half is pretty messed up. Because I mean, I do like that one. What?
I was gonna say, didn't Kenta win an open there? Or like real close?
I will fact check.
He almost wins every open, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, dude has got to be one of the best opens anglers ever.
Yeah,
he loves big
honestly.
Or he took like second or third.
31st last year. 18th. Oh, that was the elite. Hold on. Open, it was 31st.
Oh yeah, he's only won one at
That's it.
James.
James.
Sorry.
Jeez, Andy.
I thought I feel like one of them almost won. I just don't remember which one. One of those Japanese anglers.
Well, Taku did win.
I know. I was talking about an open. There was an open there that one of them did really well.
Yeah. Well, this one, there's so many freaking picks. If you want some more sleepers, you got BP down here. BP with more years under his belt of using forward-facing sonar. And then you have Cliff Perch.
No,
What?
he's had less. He's just
good
good at it.
Yeah, this is what
He wasn't allowed to have. He wasn't allowed.
No,
to have
sorry. I might have misunderstood what I was saying. More years like experience with forward-facing sonar now.
Like he's saying he's more dialed in than
yes. Sorry,
he's now caught up to the crowd.
I said that.
I got you. Okay. I can't believe he competed without it for so long. Like I remember how mad he was.
I don't know how any of those hummingbird guys did.
You know what? After what I've been hearing through the grapevine, I have so much more respect for Brandon though. I loved Brandon like as a fan to begin with, but like from like a guy that has jumped shipped, so many anglers have jumped ship from brands because of the forward-facing sonar deal. I love that Brandon stuck through that. Like that just shows loyalty, like the ultimate sponsors angler. Like
total character, yeah.
That says a lot.
Tim Price with Hummingbird is the man, though. Like if you guys ever meet him, he is the man.
It's a legend. That's the thing, a really sneaky pick. I mean, you got to be feeling crazy to pick him, but another one that does well here, Clifford Perch. But I'm also jumping on the Chris Johnson train.
Brock Mosley on the largemouth plate.
Yeah, I will say I was actually somewhat debating Ike in this one too.
Austin
I was looking
Felix.
at him.
I was thinking that
but the classic cut, he's like 3 places above it. I think he's gonna play it safe.
Yeah, fishing the
He's
river.
gonna try to catch like 21 pounds a day and finish.
Yeah, like he's right now. He's
30th.
like the third person safe. Like he's in the classic as of right now. I think he's gonna play it safe.
Dude, he might want to fish the classic. Not that there's any way of judging this at all, but like outside looking in, I got to imagine like he's got to probably want to get back to the classic more than anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean after how last year went for him, you know, he's having a great turnaround.
Yep.
But yeah, that's a hard bucket. All right, let's round it out.
Super hard bucket.
Group A, Deacon.
Man, I'm going Shakira. No questions needed or any reasoning other than that he won last year and he's an absolute hammer on Smallmouth.
This was the hard bucket too. I do like that Shakira pick. Boomer.
Walters.
Really?
He loves him some Walters.
Apparently.
Well, Walters 1 hasn't let me down. 2, he's a rough water genius. I watched him in the MPFL run out to Pelee Island in a small craft advisory and made it and practiced and came back when the rest of us were all like in our little hotel rooms crying. And he just made a top 10. He is a, in my opinion, the highest. He can't let you down. And I can bring this up in this bucket now because I didn't want to bring it up in the earlier buckets. But all the guys with the most experience are going to do better with the shortened practice. And Walters has been there 100 times, and he's done good there. So he's like if you picked him all year long, you probably would be doing pretty good. Dude's fishing amazing.
3 top 10s.
Yeah.
7.
It's
top,
been
yeah,
a
7
very
top 35s.
quiet but great Patrick Walters year. Quiet but great year.
Yep.
That is
Yeah, he's a great pick.
Support that for sure. All right, Andy.
The Johnston killer. Coop. I'm taking Coop on Lake Ontario.
When has he killed the Johnsons?
What an accolade too. Wow.
Yeah, no, Cooper is probably just as good of a smallmouth angler as the Johnstons, if not better. When he fishes against them in Simcoe,
I don't think he's earned that yet. Come on.
When
I think
he
he's damn
fishes
good.
against them on Simcoe, he has beat them on Simcoe.
Yeah, that's a way different fishery, though.
Yeah, and the Johnsons fish Simcoe more than Ontario, probably.
The Johnsons aren't even in this bucket, Andy. And like,
like
doesn't
He's going to start drama.
I'm going to clip that. I'm going to tag the Johnsons in it too.
Good.
That'll go over well. Yeah, do that.
About how angry Corey is. Ready.
Andy's tires at the ramp when they go to Erie to be slashed. Like,
Hunt Andy.
No. No, I think if there's like somebody, if the Johnsons are like 1-2 is what I'm saying. If there's anybody in this field that has as much experience on Ontario as they do, it's probably Cooper. Not in years, but he's probably spent like the same amount of hours out there when he could since he's been fishing. Like if you take the time he started from when they fished it, they probably have equal, if not the same amount of hours on that lake before forward-facing sonar. Forget it. Talking now, last 3 years, 4 years.
You're going around in circles here, Andy.
I know.
All right, but what I heard,
they're all good.
Cooper will be there. Yes.
He just said Cooper's better than the Johnston brothers, and then he just dropped a mic.
Jeez.
No, the Johnston brothers are great anglers. I just think Cooper is going to get more credit after this northern swing, and it's going to be like Cooper is just as good, is what I'm saying.
It was a decent save, Andy, but you still said Cooper was better than Johnston brothers.
I said he's going to be the Johnston's killer. I didn't say he's better.
You did. You did.
Killer.
We can rewind the track.
We should go down the list and see who's better of all of these.
It's like the Trokar conversation.
Your cocks.
Look, if you said as like you look at the end of all their careers, if you told me that Cooper was going to be more successful, I wouldn't be surprised. Just because I think the kid has all the talent needed to do so. He's got the work ethic. I think right now, though, I don't think you can say he's better than the Johnstons when it comes to smallmouth. But that's not to say he can't go prove that. I'm fully supporting thinking that he could, but I don't know. But in that being said, too, I also picked Cooper.
So here and you just razzing me. And he's like, I agree with you, but I'm going to say I disagree with you, then agree with you.
I disagree with you that he's better than the Johnsons, but I think he's the best in this bucket. Yeah.
He was just on the bus, Andy. He got on the bus and ran you over earlier. Sorry.
It's all good.
I turned the bus on.
We got all on the bus.
It's fine. It's fine.
I turned the bus on. Somebody else drove. I sat in the back seat.
And then he
Put
took
it in
his
reverse.
turn. Yes.
One thing that I keep thinking about on Champlain, how impressive, and I think it has to do with obviously with forward-facing sonar, and I think it may also have to do with just how seasoned and how there is like I wonder what the average age is on the Elite Series, right? Like it's got to be fairly old. But the amount of rookies, is someone eating a candy bar or something here? Like,
Oh, sorry. I'm fidgeting.
Andy's mad. He's got his fidget spinner out.
I'm literally fidgeting.
Okay. Anyways, the amount of rookies that absolutely smoked them and have smoked them up north here lately is insane to me. Like the amount of rookies that did so well on on Champlain and then last year on the St. Lawrence too. It's just like it's impressive to me to see the young guys come out and absolutely kill it up north.
I mean, this is a whole show in itself, and I know we still got Brennan's pick to go through, but like I think that's a technological learning curve that the younger guys are just picking up faster.
Right.
So
They're relying on it.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of like, if you look at some of the arguments that are going on right now, if you look at some of the arguments that are going on right now, you'll notice a lot of guys are just, I've made it to this point, don't want to accept it, right?
Yeah.
But if you're going through the opens, even last year or 2022 or 21 or whatever, you knew that if you didn't master forward imaging, you were never going to make it.
Right.
So a lot of the rookies were forced. I remember Bryant had to learn how to do it. I mean, he learns fast. We remember like in that show last week, he had nothing going in practice that first day. And then all of a sudden he's in the top 10. He got one clue. He told me that he was given one clue and he just turned his forward imaging on and went, but he had 2 years of learning it.
Right.
But like, if you're really good at flipping grass, it's like the old days of like, could I don't even go this way. Could Brower have made it in the elites in the last 3 years? You know what I mean? If he didn't suck it up. I think that's the argument. Anyways, we could have a whole show on this. You're right.
Yeah, it's true. Sorry to derail that, Brennan. I know you still got to do your pick.
No, it's all right. Mine's it's not a very compelling pick, but Jay Shakurit. Yeah, Great Lakes guy. That's all I got to say. And he's got the track record here. I mean, the shortened practice too. I mean, if you look at his success last year, I want to tell you that was the first time he had been there.
Crazy.
Ever. Rolled up, won the sucker, and got 2 days of practice and I don't think it's going to matter. So, Jay Shakir.
Are you concerned that he won it off of one spot, though?
No. No, not really. I don't know. I mean, he's a Great Lakes guy. Like I said, I keep going back to like that generic statement, but just being able to break down water quickly.
It's a different breed.
Yeah. It really is, dude. It's just a different understanding, right? Like no different than a TVA guy. You know, if you implant somebody from up north and put them down there, like they could figure it out and have a pretty good tournament, but I don't think they're going to win. I think Jay Shakir could win again. So,
yeah, I mean, dude, there's some of these guys are getting so good up here that it's. While the Johnsons, I feel like are heavy favorites. Like, there's a whole list of these guys that, like, Shane LaHue had he had one slip up last year in last year's event that he could have won last year. Was it last year or 2 years ago? Where he had like 2 monster days, like day 3 and 4 monster days. But his day 2, he had like, I don't know, it was like 17 or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but he had
was that the derby that they're like U.S. water only, and he was fishing like shallow up the river?
I think so. Yeah, he had like 27 pounds, then 26, something like that. Like there's guys in here that could all do it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Matt Robinson shocks everybody. I mean,
no doubt.
Come out of nowhere.
He does. Dude.
Could you imagine? Probably stick wins St. Lawrence. Like that'd be.
Hey, that case is all the stuff that you need about sensitive rods, right? Like I have ugly sticks.
That's very true.
Boomer walks away coincidentally.
Yeah, Boomer's like, I'm out.
Yeah. Ugly stick is way better than alpha angler. Oh God! Just because he's not here. Let's see in the chat. Yeah. Roast Boomer in the chat while he's gone when you guys are at it. We've had some people roasting him the whole while. I think he forgot how to look at comments.
Drew Gregory. By the way, totally off topic. Boomer sucks.
Yeah. Let's get some roast Boomer in the chat. All right. What do you guys have for weights?
I'm kind of in between what Wes was saying. He was saying like he thought guaranteed 92 to 95. I'm going 98.4, so I don't think it's going to be 100 something again. But yeah, I don't know why I came up with that other than it's kind of in between. And I feel like the Century Club's a real special thing, and I don't think it's going to happen again. This year.
Andy, what do you got?
102.11. It's been getting cold in New York at night. Those fish are starting to get fat. There's a lot of 6-pounders being caught in front of Buffalo in the last like 3 to 4 days. They're starting to feed up big time. Winter's coming early this year, so I would expect it's going to take over 100 if they can get on the lake and fish it all 4 days.
Boomer?
I have 90, and I can hear you guys, by the way.
We're hoping you could.
My wife turned Major League Baseball back on. I had to go regular.
AKA, you were about to start time travel.
She was yelling
That's why I muted it.
Yeah.
That's why he muted it right there.
It wasn't muted. We heard the whole thing.
I know. A year. I had 96.5. I don't know why, but I think the weights that we've chosen all year long have been lower than. I don't know.
It would be interesting. We haven't really fact checked the weights that we've all put on. It would be interesting.
No, I think we've been a little bit low. I mean, I don't think a Champlain was as high as we thought it would be, even with the big bags.
Yeah,
good question,
Brennan.
I went 101.7. I was going to go 110 because Hallman, you know. Right? But no, I came back down to reality. I'm going 101.7. And it probably won't be Hallman, Boomer. Sorry.
It's fair.
I went on the side of thinking positive here, and I went with 104.6.
Holy cow.
Now, here's a real question. Is someone going to drop a dirty 30 of smallmouth?
Could happen.
Or multiple bags of dirty 30s. It's like, it's weird because Buffalo to like Clayton is an entirely different like weather pattern. It gets colder up there sooner. The lake is always cooler. It always seems to be like 2 to 3 weeks ahead of what Buffalo is. And we already are seeing water temp drops in Buffalo, and the fish have already started putting the feed bag on here. So I'm going to be it's going to be interesting to see how big a fish they actually catch and how round they actually are.
Man,
Dang.
it was 2 weekends ago. They were already starting to get fat.
Yeah, like
I mean, Andy, it was a nice twist on Erie for how pressured those fish already are. Of like when you watch fish go down on live on your drop shot, you're like, oh yeah, they'll eat it. When Erie, they don't eat the freaking thing. Yeah. And then you go on Ontario, you watch a fish, you throw 30 yards away from the damn thing, and it comes running over like it's on crack, and it eats it. And you're like, you don't even have time to close your bail to get your line ready. You're like, it's already got it, and it swam 100 yards the other direction. Like, it's nice to see fish like that.
Yeah, and I think that gives you the perspective of Ontario and the river, right? There's so much more fishable water up there that there's a lot of fish that never see a flatworm cast at them, because that's what 99.9% of the field is going to be throwing at them.
And but they're lying.
Yeah, if they're not, they're lying. Besides Brandon, he throws like that X-Zone slammer and he catches them. So it's like all the respect in the world for that, because everyone's throwing flatworms. But
absolutely,
Boomer, can you confirm or deny if he uses bait fuel?
Oh, I can't. I don't know. I've never.
Come on, dude.
I will tell you that. I will tell you that
he was right there in front of us.
I said, "What were you throwing at the?" Because he had a pretty good day too, and we were just talking about it. And I said, "What were you throwing at him?" He said, "Well, I was throwing a bigger bait," and he totally deflected. I was like, "That's not like him." So then I brought it back up again. I'm like, "So, anyways, yeah, I know that a lot of guys were throwing the baby Z2 and blah blah blah," and so I just kind of hinted. I'm like, "Yeah, so what are you throwing?" And well, I was throwing a little bit bigger bait, and I'm like, "You're not going to tell me, are you? You have something secret."
I got something sneaky you don't know.
He goes, "Oh, I'll tell you," and I'm like, "No, I don't want to know.
I don't want to know that.
No, I'm going to find out if I can. I'll snoop this out through the grapevine. I can't believe you're not going to tell me. You got all sneaky all of a sudden."
Oleg's going to get home. Boomer's going to be in this garage shuffling through the boat trying to find the bait. What is it?
He's going to knock on his door.
Tell me what it
I
is.
can't figure it out. Tell me.
I just couldn't believe that he was like, I'm like, you're like the best angler in the world, and you're playing the same game as the guys at a Wednesday night or boat ramp.
Oh,
you know what I mean? I got to my spot, threw in there, I caught another super vague. I'm like, you're not.
They were
that
biting
guy,
on plastic. That's the most.
That's right.
Really, dude. Like, no.
Yeah. My favorite is when those conversations when they're at the ramp and they're like, "Well, I just made a little adjustment." And I'm like, "You didn't make an adjustment. You've been fishing this lake for 100 years. It's the only lake you fish. You just went to another spot. That's not an adjustment."
Yeah.
I changed my boat angle by 1 degree.
Make an adjustment.
Oh, gosh. He probably stole some of that taku sauce, the cocaine that he's got in that bottle.
I heard
I'm still dying to find that.
He gives it out to the elite guys and tells them what it is. I think Brandon did have a. Yeah.
Dude, I found it. I can't tell you where I found it. I'll tell you after the show, but I got some.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. You need to. Yeah.
Oh yeah, bud.
I will pay heavy dollars for that.
Daddy found it.
By heavy dollars, all $20.
Did he say Daddy found it?
Daddy found it.
That's right.
He leans back in the chair. Daddy found it.
Yeah. No big deal.
Next thing you know, there's gonna be a bag. Found it, boys.
That's right.
It's like Jack Sparrow with the jar. He goes, "Got it."
That's awesome. That's awesome. I got a funny. Let me ruin the show one more time. I got Brandon. So I work at home, right? I'm a fisherman and I own my own business. I sit in my own office. I have no good clothes, and my wife's been making fun of me that every time we go to dinner, I wear a Taco Warehouse t-shirt, every time.
Dude, yeah.
I came in the other day with the bright red one that Brendan's wearing. And I'm like, date night shirt. And my wife's like, "You can't wear that. Not the bright red one." And then we log on the show and my wife's like, "Brendan's got the date night shirt on."
So you went and put on your dress Tackle Warehouse shirt then. You got the gray one, the heather gray with blue.
That is the one, man.
Yeah, that's the dress one.
Yeah, that's the wedding one. We call that the wedding one.
Yeah, there's a funeral one too. There's a black one.
Oh my, there's a funeral. Jesus.
Wilkie.
Are we talking the black and white one, or the black with the wood background fish logo?
Oh, the wood one's just classy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
You wear that one with wingtips.
Right.
Here we go. Clint said Boomer will steal Vandy's hard drive to find the secrets. That's good.
I talked to those clowns yesterday. Dustin Wilkie's been busting me the whole time too.
Yes.
He needs to be getting ready for his next MPFL event. Get off the internet.
You hooligans.
Yeah. I love Wilkie.
All right. So there's 3 more things we need to cover. We can go around the horn on a couple of them pretty quick. First, what do you guys think Big Bass is going to be? Go around the horn, Deacon.
Big Bass?
Yeah.
I'm going to say a touch under 8. I'm going to say
Woo!
Didn't Paul Mueller have the 8 in
Yeah.
July last year?
8-1 or something.
It was like immediate.
No,
post
7-14.
spawn. Yeah, like immediate
Okay.
post spawn.
I'm going to say it's going to be 2 ounces below that, so it'll be 7-12.
That is the current record too with Bassmaster still, isn't it? Paul's
Biggest smallmouth?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe it's not going to be that big, but I'm going to say 7-12. I'm going to be optimistic.
7-12. Okay. Brandon?
I'll go slightly under Adam. Give me 7-10.
7-10. Boomer?
I was gonna go 6-11. Feel kind of bad now.
I'm gonna get on the 7 train, but I'm gonna go 7-6. I don't think it's gonna be that high. Andy?
Yeah, I'm on the 7 train too, but I have 7-3.
7-3.
So like our fish, but yours farted or something.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Pooped out a perch.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right. Let's run through our drain the lakes, and then we'll cap this sucker off by
So I
talking
forgot about that.
about AOI race.
Good. Yeah, I was going to say we got to really get into AOI and ROI.
Mhm. All right, I got mine up here, so I'll rattle off quick because I saved them my entire season for this event, so they better do well. I have Atkins, Cooper Gallant, Jeff Gustafson, Chris Johnson, Corey Johnson, Brandon Polnick, Jay Shakurit, and Taco Ito. Whoever's got theirs up, let it rip.
Got it. I got Coop, Taku, Chris Johnson, Corey Johnson, Shakirat, Kamara, Bryant Smith, and Clark Wenlett.
Ooh, Smith, you still had. Nice.
Yeah.
All right. I've got Clark Wenlett, Chris Johnson, Corey Johnson, Coop, Jacob Fouts, Justin Atkins, Cody Huff, and Kobe Krieger.
Ooh. Brendan?
Can I go last?
He's
Yeah, I'll
she's
go
still
first.
picking.
Okay, I got a plan for you, Brendan. Don't you worry.
Okay.
Boomer, what do you got?
I got Robertson, Ito, Huff, Fouts, Douglas, Fujita, Lehue, and Wong.
I like it. Brendan, it's all you, buddy.
Oh, wow. Okay. No, this was not necessary, I promise. But I went Justin Atkins, Corey Johnston, Cooper Gallant, Taku, Chris Johnston, Paul Mueller, Jay Shakurit, Clark Wenlett, and that's going to be the nail in the coffin. I'm going to win it. That's it. That's it.
Sorry, Deacon.
What's your percentage there?
Oh, let me pull up the ranking here.
I think you surpassed me, Adam. So
On Drain the Lake?
I think so.
I'm at
Drain the
nine-
Lake, Adam.
Yeah, because you got those bonus points. You got the winner.
You are winning by 250 points, Adam. No
Yep.
pressure.
97.3%.
You beat Brendan by 500 points last event.
That's a big jump.
Yep.
It's a slap
But
in the
we're
face.
coming back, baby. This is it.
Let me just rephrase this. Everyone beat Brendan last event in Drain the Lake.
Yes,
I had a bad one, dude.
and everyone beat me in fantasy fishing, so it's okay.
It happens. We all have bombs.
Yep.
Easy how you say that, Andy. Easy how you say that. Oh
That's
gosh!
right.
All right,
Good play on words by Drew.
Good job,
Yeah.
Drew. That's funny.
genius.
Drew Gregory just said, "Is that a Need to Breathe shirt?" Yes, it is. Saw him in concert last week. Best band ever.
Hey,
I just love being able to see the comments, man.
I
Look at you. Look at you growing up, man.
Welcome.
You're so tech savvy.
welcome to becoming. Yeah.
Welcome to the last week.
Oh,
I finally got on board.
You got tech savvy boomer over here.
With a little
I-
group guidance.
He'll be adding contact names to his phone numbers next week.
Pictures.
Changing ringtones,
Yes,
backgrounds.
Dude.
Dude.
He's gonna start his own Instagram page in the next month.
I've gotten to the amazing age of having teenagers that can do all that stuff for me. Be like, I can't stand that I can't get this voicemail. Just hand the stuff over, and the girls are like, "Gosh, Dad, it's so easy. Why is this so hard for you?" Yeah.
Oh gosh. Oh,
all right, let's get into this thing. Angler of the year. I was genuinely surprised that Welcher took back the lead. I thought, honestly, going to Champlain, I didn't think Welcher or Cobb would be leading it leaving Champlain. I'm genuinely surprised. What do you got? What are your guys' thoughts on that? Let me actually screen share the rankings here.
I was gonna say, I've got.
Yeah, I was pulling them up.
So I don't think there's been a season that I have looked in a long time where Patrick Walter was not in the top 7 AOL.
He is season 5.
Always there.
That's what I
yeah.
mean.
Sorry. Don't mind me.
Here's one thing though, and I'm just, sometimes the AY points I always sucked at math, so you have to forgive me here. But the only thing that's glaring to me looking at this is seeing we're at St. Lawrence.
Yep.
And Jay Shakur's in 4th. Is that enough reach if Welcher was to have a bad tournament?
Totally.
So it's what, 30? Was that 36 points?
52 minus 16. Yeah, it's 36 points.
So if Shakir finishes 10th and Welcher finishes 46th, they would be tied at points.
Damn. Okay, that's huge then. So if wow.
Yeah, I mean, really, there's probably not a comeback. Past?
Go down a little bit, like 9th and 10th.
It'd be tough, like Schmidt or Blaylock. Like once you get down to there, it's probably really.
Yeah, I think like 9th is, like 8th is probable. You could have a rookie of the year AOY here if everyone above him bombs. But realistically, like Welcher's gonna have to catch them, and same with Cobb, to have a chance to win.
So basically, if you're looking at this, if you're Welcher or Cobb, you're saying, I need a top 30.
Yeah, they guarantee themselves from Jay Shakir, not
right.
Shakir, Walters, Cifuentes. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's realistically a scary one for this too that we didn't even talk about.
Yeah, like realistically, I think anyone from 1 to 6 has a chance. Because 52 points is quite a lot. And then,
yeah, I mean, it's possible, but from probability standpoint, man, I don't know. I mean,
I think I'll go down to Vegeta. I think that's where I draw the line, just because of who he is, I guess, with the chance of chasing fish around with forward-facing sonar.
Yeah, but then you also have to worry about Shakir, Walters.
Right. You're right. So, okay, you're right. Yeah, realistically, like top 5 or 6.
Yeah, I think the odds of Shakir and Walters not, and even Cifuentes not having a top 25 in this event are very, very slim.
Yeah, I think this is the chance. Shakir has a real chance to win AOI in this. And I feel like Welcher last year was in the same boat, wasn't he? Like going into the end of it, or I feel like we've talked about this before, where he's super consistent, phenomenal angler, and then he's starting to figure out the northern fish.
You're saying Welcher?
Yeah.
I mean, if I were to say out of the him or Cobb right now, the guys that have the point differential from, I mean, 24 is a decent bump on Cook, but I'm looking at those. I mean, just Welcher's mindset, my money be on Welcher can close this out.
Okay.
I would not rule it out one bit. I think Welcher realistically could do it. Just saying, dude, I called Jay Shakir winning Angler of the Year at the beginning of the season. I want him to win, but I think Welcher could still seal the deal. No problem.
And Drew Cook finished 22nd here last year, so you can't even count him out. So, like,
St. Lawrence is
it'll be fun to watch.
Man. It really is. Like, guys,
fun to watch.
Because Andy, you know it full well. I mean, Deacon, you've been there too. Boomer, Brennan, I don't know if you guys have ever been up that way,
Never
but
been
like
to St. Lawrence.
You can very easily, like, if you just go and just graph a bunch of shoals, you can stumble upon really good fish. And it's not, I'm going to be straight honest, it's not hard to catch them. If you understand how to just keep your bottom contact with a drop shot, you're going to catch those fish. So it's like, if you can land them, like, if you just find the right fish, it's easy for guys to stumble upon fish because they're not going to go anywhere.
And it's New York State and a smallmouth on the Great Lakes.
Yeah.
Like you have Sturgeon Bay experience. Those fish tend to live in the same areas over and over year after year. It's the same deal with Lake Ontario and the St. Lawrence River. If you catch big ones in one area of the river, there's always big ones there. It's just, will they bite or not? And some days, depending on the wind, one drift, they might not bite. But if you can get over on another one where the wind's right, they'll bite. So you have to be more worried about wind direction, I think, than finding the fish.
Yeah, but I think the lake negates all of that, though.
Yeah. Oh, the lake,
yeah.
100%. If you have wind on the lake, it's common de facto they're going to bite. So it doesn't matter which way it blows. You just have to figure out which way they're set up on a contour break with boulders.
And, Jay will be on the lake. And I don't know where Kyle fished last year. Was he in the river or was he on the lake? I can't imagine he was on the lake.
Yeah, I don't know.
He doesn't seem like a lake guy.
Doesn't seem like a lake guy. I remember watching one of his practice videos, dude, from last year, and he was like frogging in areas. Like he was trying to catch largemouth. I don't know if he was just screwing around or actually trying to get something going, but I feel like he's evolved, I think.
SLR, man, there's some kicker largemouth.
Sure.
And they're dumb because they don't get fished for.
And that's the scary thing too, is like when we look at it for this year, like 20 pounds is gonna get you shit. Like 20 pounds, you might be missing the cut.
I think Wes Logan last year caught 20 pounds both days and finished like 65th.
Yeah.
So like you better have like 23 to 24 pounds just to have a shot at the top 20.
This is unreal.
Rich from Hellabass coming here with some really good
statistics. Yeah, Hellabass is good work. He's got
Cobb has a 71st and 81st in 2 appearances out of Clayton. So the way I'm looking at this, there's a few different perspectives. So Cobb is probably shitting himself a little bit because
he's in this position before.
He's climbing uphill. He has, but also the way I think about
it
too.
I mean, like not in a positive way. I'm just saying, like I feel like we've seen him also be very close to an AOI title going into New York. Like,
Welcher, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like he's so calm, and I don't know if maybe it's like because of the whole poker thing that he can play it off as he's calm. I can't imagine anybody that knows they're in first in a territory where they have some of the people hunting them down that they do is that calm. But at the same point in time, he seems like a guy that can easily make a gamble and not give a shit how it turns out. So it can be very scary. But at the same point in time, the way I look at it as you have Jay Shakurit very easily. I'm saying not gonna say easily, very reasonably can come from behind on this. Even Walters, it's only 3 spot differential.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go. It's either gonna be Jay or Walters. Even a Fuentes that's gonna take
over Welcher.
Over Welcher.
I don't know if I'd take that one. I think if the northern swing had one less pure smallmouth lake, like if they went to the Mississippi River instead or something like that, Cobb would be a no-brainer. He's just fishing too good. He's just not a scoper, and he's getting beat by the scopers.
I just will say though, because with the lake fishing as good as it is, and the river fishing not so good. I mean, even guys that ran to Clayton in that the Open barely hit 20 pounds. I don't know. Part of me thinks it's later in the year, so these fish might be more consistent. So they might have been in that transition, but I don't know. Even like some of our buddies, Dean Meckes, Andy, we were talking about, he said the river's fishing horrible this year.
Yeah, there's little pockets in the river that are fishing really good, but one day you crack like a 25-pound bag and you can go back there the next day and you'll catch 15, 16, and then the third day you'll catch 25 pounds again. Jeez. So, and it's all because we haven't had like a constant wind direction. It's like southwest, north, northeast, southwest, north, northwest, north. And it's like we've had more north wind this year than I can ever remember. And Rich asked what my wind projection for the lake on Thursday is. It's going to be completely fishable. 1 to 3s. Canadian shoreline will be rough, but everything down the New York shoreline will be fine. It'll be a breeze.
So if the shortened practice has an effect on them, you guys think it'll be like Walters or Shakurit? If Welcher can find a place to scope him off the shoals, he's almost unbeatable. Is that what you're thinking?
I think Jay Shakira wins no matter what, personally.
Yeah, I think whoever gets on the lake and has
on these guys.
Whoever has the most experience on lake. I know Drew Cook was in the lake, if I remember correctly, last year.
Wait, didn't we all made predictions at the beginning of the year, didn't we?
Yeah, dude, I'm pretty sure I picked Jay Shakira.
Yeah, I do not remember who I picked.
I'm gonna go back and listen. I'll figure it out.
You think we did it on the first episode?
I think we did the first episode. Yeah.
That'd be fun.
I probably
I'll go back
something like Swindle, but
Hellabass, Andy went into a deep dive right after Wes came on early in the show to talk about.
I'm pulling up my wind finder right now.
Yeah, it's southeast, and out there southeast, even if it's that much, it's gonna be fine.
And a south wind too, where a majority of those guys are gonna fish. Oh yeah, like I'm looking at it now. Running out into the lake will suck, but as they turn left and head southeast, it'll be pretty much like anywhere from Chameau Bay and behind the islands are going to be fine.
What's the first island? It's not Fox. It's that Grenadier.
Yeah,
that's
Grenadier
the first one.
Island.
They can.
Yeah.
I mean, that island's big enough that'll provide some protection too. They'll have a little bit of rough right at the mouth of Cape Vincent, but I don't know. I mean,
anywhere from Henderson to Cape Vincent is going to be relatively decent. If guys are going to run to the Galoos, like, that's
here's the thing though. Here's the thing. It's Monday.
And it's going to change
Thursday. And when I was fishing up there in last 2 weeks ago, it changed every 12 hours, like dramatically changed. So who knows?
The other thing is too, the Wind Finder app has it blowing in the morning, but it's blowing almost pure east in the morning and then slowly switches south. Which if it's blowing like east southeast, that lake is. I'm not saying it's going to be glass, but you're going to have 1 to 1.5 footers along that shoreline. It's going to be plenty drivable for those guys, even to fish in it. It might make the fish setup funny for the first couple hours, but they'll be fine.
Apparently, Welcher had big fish last year with a 612 fish near or on the lake. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
If we really want to get to betting, let's bet on how accurate that wind finder will be in 4 days.
Yeah,
wind finder is accurate.
We'll all lose.
Yeah, but no, it's accurate when you're close. Like I'm saying, when it's like
we're too far away.
Yeah, like
when 5 minutes away.
Ask me tomorrow. Tomorrow you'll have a better accurate picture.
Yeah, it's going to get 20% more accurate every day from here on out.
So it'll be southwest at 45.
Probably, honestly. Well, there's a lot of stuff at play too with those winds right now. Like there's a lot of tropical storms starting to form out in the Atlantic that's changing wind direction a bunch. So, which is something that you don't think really plays 1,500 miles away, but it really does. So they have a lot of power.
We got to talk ROI. We haven't talked ROI.
Well, let's all make our bet. I know, Brandon, you said Jay. Let's quickly go around. Who we think?
Are we wagering? Is there any wagering?
Yes,
what do we want to wager?
There's a
wager.
Oh, let's wager.
Let's wager a. Oh, no, we can't do that. I was gonna say wager a punishment, but I feel like it's hard to.
Oh, we can definitely do that. Yeah.
If we don't get it, we all have to. So we all have to have punishment if we all don't get it.
Oh boy.
How do we hold each other accountable? You know, do you got to take a video? Like,
what kind of punishment?
That doesn't work.
I don't know. I feel like that's more like
just money. Money's fine. Just Benjamins.
Just Benjamins.
Benjamins. Wow, Brennan.
Not Benjamins. I don't feel that confident. It's fishing.
What happens? I feel like we're gonna have a lot of the same picks here. Are we splitting like the pot if someone wins?
Raise your hand if you're picking, or if you're not picking Jay. Okay, so so we got a wager then. All right.
What do you got, Boomer?
I'm not straying away from Welcher.
Yeah, I think it's either going to be Welcher or Jay here.
You gotta pick one.
I know. Flip a coin. I'm going Jay.
All right, Boomer. If Jay wins, you have to use ugly sticks in your next tournament.
I actually think the new ugly sticks have been made pretty good. The ones that Matt's running. Now they got a lot of resources behind them. I don't think that they suck as bad as you think. We could do like the guy that loses, his company has to donate something to the final show, to the winner of the final show, and then we'll pick it out of a random draw or something. because we all are back in some kind of company. Andy has to
All
give a guide trip away.
How about this? How about this? Okay,
And
this is gonna be drawn out. We're gonna do some good with this show. How about this?
Right.
I like it.
All right. So we're gonna go from points. So Boomer's gonna get first pick. We all have to pick somebody different. We can't pick the same person. Whoever wins, all of us have to pitch in $25, say, to the person that wins to a charity of choice.
I like it. I'm in.
I like it too.
Sounds good, but I get Jay.
Same.
Boomer, Brennan, if Jay's available by the time we get to last place.
Oh yeah, let me go. I get last, right? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
All right, Boomer.
Just tell me what charity, dude. Just I'll write a check. It's over. This went from like an opportunity to make money to like a guaranteed loss for me. So this is cool.
It's went from gambling to losing.
Yeah, like there's no possible winning outcome for me.
You can veto the idea.
Vetoed. It's vetoed.
It's vetoed unless he gets a J.
Found the grab.
Yeah, I feel like a bet has to be you get to decide who you want. You know what I mean?
Bailey, this is not a bet.
Mm-hmm.
All right, fine. I mean, I don't know what else to do with it.
I don't know either, but I like the idea behind the charity thing. So keep going.
All right, it's fine. Then we can have the same people. But
there's only one winner. There's only one guy that's going to win. Everybody else has to donate cash to the charity. I'm in.
All right, Boomer, who you got?
I'm going to do a lot of good.
Welcher.
Deacon, who you got?
I got Shakira.
Shakira. All right, I'll go Walters.
Ooh.
I
don't think that's
all right.
Andy?
I'm going Cook just because he tends to do well at the St. Lawrence.
Okay. And Brandon's got Jay.
And I got Jay. So Adam, we just got to connect and decide what charity we want real quick, and then we'll just combine resources.
All right. Deal. And hey, I will. Well, here's what I'll do too. If people want to get in on this, like from a charitable standpoint, we'll do it on the recap show. If the folks, maybe we'll do like an open line for if people in the comments want to donate too at the recap show.
Yeah, or gosh, it'd be fun if people just, because especially this is going to charity, honored what their pick was and did the same thing we're doing. Like look at AOI, pick your top, one of your top 7 guys, and if you lose, donate to charity. Donate to.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
Yeah, half of Spokane burned down last week. I know there's some needy people on our side. So
really, with a fire.
We have 3 wildfires, and the first night knocked down 185 houses.
Holy
cow!
Yeah, and I know.
But I'm sure there's some good ones. Make sure you guys help out, donate, do what you can.
There are some really good ones, and it actually brings up a good point. I will be having some information, and I'll plug up in the next couple of shows. We'll probably do, honestly, for MP3 folks, we'll make it like a little ad type of deal in the beginning, so you guys can have the information there. But talk with Maddie Wong on ways that we can help those in Hawaii after all that stuff. So we'll have some good options. But
there's still 800 people missing in Maui.
That's insane.
Yeah,
that's wild.
Good gosh.
All right. Talk ROI.
Should we do the same bet too for ROI?
I don't know.
No,
I'm trying to get rich for my blood here. I run a bass boat every day. All right, man.
You got 5 tournament guys on here that we're all just gambling away.
All right.
It's getting a little rich for my blood.
All right. What do you guys? I mean, actually, that is a pretty damn.
Dude. The ROI race is pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's basically a 2-horse race at this point, and they're both going to catch them.
You think so?
Yeah.
Is it a 3-horse race?
You're 60 points from Bryant Smith.
No, Cifuentes is going to win ROI.
I think
so. I would agree more than likely.
I think it's a 2-horse race. I agree that it's a 2-horse race. I think there's still a chance for.
But 15 points. I mean,
15 points. I mean, if he finishes in the top 10 and Cifuentes finishes,
and Koya fished the Open here and didn't do well.
He had like 14 a day, but
that was a weird.
He was in the river.
Yeah, it was.
Right. Understanding the river still, or like just understanding the layout. Period. That's knowing what not to do.
I think when we talk about being a 2-day practice, and you talk about experience, and that was Koya's first time on the river, I'm going Cifuentes all day on this.
Yeah, I'm going Cifuentes, and my reasoning is actually on the live show. on today. I think they were talking about Fujita's never he was talking about how
Those biggest waves he's been in.
Water he's been in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And he was so that's Fuentes has been in plenty of big water. So
yeah.
He's for a rookie, he's an old school grinder. Like he's been around for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He snuck in that rookie class, right? Because like 500 or something.
I think he was barely able to be a rookie.
Snuck in.
Yeah.
But nothing against him. He's a hammer. And he's
rookie of the years, is there any money involved?
Probably like $2,500.
I wish it would be like
gift card to Whataburger.
Fireworks.
I know this is different at the Elite Series. I mean, first of all, AOI is big money, but I wish Rookie of the Year, just to help a rookie out, especially, I think what it should be is like your entry fees for the next season. You know what I mean? Like that'd be huge. If you had entry fees for the next season, that would really help a rookie out.
Yeah, that would be cool. I like it.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else we haven't covered?
Fun show, boys.
Yeah. Almost 2 hours. Holy crap.
Yeah, I got to run because I got to be up at 4:30. So,
you poor thing, you get to go fishing.
That's right. I think we should do this for the Opens EQs next year. Just kidding.
Make like a.
It'd be pretty fun though.
It'd be fun.
I'd love to talk about this Open group of guys.
Yeah, I haven't looked at the AOI and Opens in a while.
Cool.
I'd love to look at that.
We can do that in the recap show. Just say who we think will be in that.
Going to make the Elite Series.
Yeah. I'll put money on Nania.
I think everybody's got money on that guy.
Yeah, kid's a good kid.
Yeah. All right, fellas. You guys got anything left for the folks?
Not tonight.
Nope.
Thanks
All
again.
right, well, speaking of Opens, guys, we're having John Garrett on live tomorrow night.
Oh, nice.
So that'll be a good show.
Cool.
But
Heck yeah, that'll be a great show.
all right, folks. Appreciate y'all as always. It's gonna be a fun event this weekend, and we'll see you guys tomorrow night. Peace.